What about identifying particular target audiences? How does somebody go about A, identifying the audience, but then B, how do you find out what they do like to consume and how they like to consume it?
Test, 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 test. So put out as much content as possible and different types of content, and on different types of platforms. I remember when I started marketing, I was on Instagram because that was the platform that I understood, but people on Instagram are not interested in marketing. So I had to move my content over to LinkedIn, and suddenly my business started getting better results. So it's also about just testing out different platforms, different content types. So you'll find on LinkedIn sometimes, in as much as people love video content, the content that gets the most views and impressions is actually image, like static images, or sometimes even just plain text more than video. So you have to test the different content types, and then finally you have to test your different copy. So what is it that you're talking about? You have to figure out what resonates with people the most and find your audience in that way. So it's a very slow process, very meticulous. You have to put in that work every single day until you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm starting to recognize these certain patterns, and this is what people are actually enjoying from me, and then start pushing that content much more.
And what tips do you have that can make content shareable or interesting? What are the things that you've found have worked?
So again, it goes down to the audience, first and foremost, but also if it's something that is entertaining, so people love laughing, and if something is entertaining and super funny, they're going to share that. The second thing that I find is very shareable is content that is in educational. So if you share like information that people have never heard or they would need to know, you find that more people would like to share that with others. And then finally, another shareable type of content is content that is, so you've got entertaining, educational, but also inspirational. So if you're putting out content that will motivate people and make them want to become better versions of themselves, you'll find that more people would like to share that content with others. And I know I might be sounding very redundant right now, but again, it goes back to your audience and who you're trying to target, because you'll also find that maybe the person who is viewing your content cannot necessarily relate to it, but they know someone that can, and then they'll share to that person like, oh, I found this video online, they're talking about something that you might be interested in or that you might find interesting, and that's why they share that content. So yeah, those three things: educational, inspirational, and amusing.